Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. And where am I? Well, I'm in Spokane, Washington with Lori for a family retreat, and what a delight to be with her, spend that time with her, hey, and also to spend time with the family there. But I want to move back to last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, Lori and I were traveling by ourselves, heading for a family event in eastern Wyoming, about a 6-hour drive from our home, 5 to 6 hour drive. And it was 80 miles an hour, and we're flying along, and all of a sudden the semi-truck in front of us swerved slightly, and out from its rear wheels it projected what I did not know what it was at the time. It looked like a giant log coming straight for our car. Well, fortunately I was driving and I didn't panic, I didn't overcorrect, and I was able to just kind of slightly move because it looked like it was coming right to the right side of our car, and I moved it slightly just to get over. If I'd have gone, the natural tendency would be go left to get off into the other lane, and I would have rolled it, I'm sure. But the projectile came out, and luckily it came down and right into our tire, and our tire immediately exploded. So it lifted the front end up, and then it got caught underneath the front end of our car, and sparks are flying everywhere. We had no idea what we had hit. And so we pulled over, finally got over safely, and got out, and we were looking at it. Well, while we were looking at it, a car pulled up behind, and we were just starting to figure out what had happened. And he gets out and he says, "Are you guys all right? Are you all right?" Now, there had been a little bit of time that had lapsed, and so we thought he was just stopping to help. But he said, "That was my muffler." And sure enough, underneath the car, just as I was looking, there was a muffler, a good-sized fat muffler, just wedged underneath the axle. And of course, the tire was destroyed. And we're like, wow. And you know, how close did we come? What he had done is it came off of his car, and I guess cars just continued to miss it, because he got off the off-ramp, turned around, and was heading back towards us. And he actually saw the semi-truck hit it. He saw it fly up and hit our car, and then he just saw all these sparks coming out, and he thought for sure we were going to explode, and he was just shaking. He was so nervous about it. And you know, Lori had been looking down. She had no idea what happened. She just heard this big noise and the explosion of the tire, and she thought, because she had filled the tires up with air, she thought she put too much air in the tire. So, but we were, you know, we're thrilled. It could have been so much worse. But this poor young man who had the guts to turn around and come back, and then to pull up behind us and immediately admit what had happened. He could have just carried on and gone his own way. But he helped us change it. Pretty soon the highway patrol showed up. He told him exactly what happened. They wrote the incident report up. But you know, we came in this close to really probably something that was could have been very traumatic, very tragic, really. But yet this young man could have just kept right on going. When he saw what happened, he could have kept right on going. He had several chances to just go right on going. But you know, he took responsibility for his actions. He really was authentic in being himself. He was not going to betray who he was. Well, what an example for us. You know, I'm sending him a letter with some gratitude rocks. I'll do that as soon as I get home. You know, and thank him for his honesty, thank him for his integrity, thank him for his courage and his willingness to stand up. When he made a mistake, he owned it. Now, I look around today, and I have to say, I look at our political system, and I have to ask myself, I look at leadership, I look at empowered wealth leadership. And one of the characteristics of empowered wealth leadership is authenticity. To be yourself, to be Lee Brower, to be whoever you're going to be, but don't betray yourself. And what are we seeing from our political leaders? They get, you know, something happens, they do something wrong, or they did something wrong, but rather than take responsibility for it, they try to find a way to divert that and lay blame on something else or somebody else, so that it takes the emphasis off of what was really the real issue. But this young man showed me that I don't have to judge America by our current political leaders, the ones that are running for office. I can judge America by us, by the people that we are. And we are a great country with great people. And as we continue to be authentic in who we are, authentic in our leadership, in standing up for those principles that we believe in, and not selling them off for a vote or selling them off for money, then we are starting to move closer in that empowered wealth mindset and move closer to leadership. You know, that could have been a horrible experience, but I'm so grateful that it happened. I'm so grateful for what we learned from it. I'm grateful for that young man to demonstrate his leadership and coming back and meeting with us and taking responsibility for that. Thank you for letting me share this with you this Monday. Have a meaningful week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.